Hey, this video is about collecting emails from prospects and customers and then sending them stuff. And it all came out of Kevin's question here, where he asks, is there a platform where we can have customers enter their email and send them coupons and send them promotions later and so on? And I'm recording this for you, Kevin, but I'm actually going to record it somewhat generically for anyone because this is such a helpful question that I think comes up a fair amount, and I'd love to serve everyone with an answer. And first, I'll say that whether you're collecting emails now or you've never done it before, that's totally fine. Like it's like the question, when's the best time to plant an oak tree? It was 20 years ago, and the second best time is like right now. So if you haven't started collecting emails, no problem, but start now. Or another scenario I see sometimes, people kind of just collecting emails, writing them down on a post-it note or in your client database, but then you're not sending things out. Or maybe you're copying and pasting things into Gmail and sending them out, which you shouldn't be doing. But this video is about how to manage that process well and with compliance and with ethics and in a way that serves your customers, in a way that helps your business. So the other disclaimer I'm going to say is that there are a wide variety of systems and platforms that do this. And the challenge is it's easy to get caught up in the marketing of needing some bright and shiny thing. But in this video, I'm going to share with you a range of 4 that I really like. And one is really simple and one is really complex. And there's a couple in the middle. And I would say, I'm going to do my best to make a recommendation for you, but I'd say always go a little bit simpler. And you can always switch from one platform to another. So you can, for example, upload your database into one, and that could work for a while. And then if you need something more, you can download your database and switch to a different one. Now, I wouldn't advise switching year after year, month after month. That's a lot of work. But what I'm saying is don't feel trapped in one. You can switch, but I would start with the simpler one. And many of them that I'm about to show you have expanding levels of service so that you can start with a simple, low-cost solution that fits your needs now. And in the future, you can always upgrade. So you've got lots of options. Before I get into what the email system does, I'll tell you that a few big categories of things you want to think about. First of all, and all the systems that I'm going to show you do this to some degree or other, but I just want you to think about what you can do. So there's a few things that you're going to do. You're going to want to be able to collect emails. And that could be, say, an embeddable form on your website or a separate website. Most sites can give you, most of the systems I'm going to show you give you either option. But you want to be able to collect emails and not just collect them on a post-it note, but a way to actually get people entering their email in, and then it's stored in a way that's compliant with the changing email laws. So collecting email is one thing. Second is you want to be able to send emails, and let's call them bulk sending. Now, different email systems have different names for this, but for lack of a better term, let's call it bulk sending, where you write one email, you decide which group or subgroups of your prospects and customers you want to send it to, and you send out that email. And you can kind of do these one-offs. Sometimes they're called broadcasts. In some systems, they have different names. But basically, you're bulk sending one-off emails as you need to. And then kind of a part of that is you can schedule those. You can write an email and then send it to different groups of people. You can kind of group your prospects and customers in different ways. And so being able to send kind of like a bulk email, a bulk one-off broadcast email is really important. And again, all the systems I'm going to show you can do that. Third thing that you can do is set up campaigns so that someone comes in to your, someone enters their email, and then depending how you tag them or maybe where they enter their email, they can be automated on different campaigns of automatically pre-written emails that just go out at a certain pace. And so one example might be if you've got a new customer in your store, you've never worked with them before, you enter them in, you tag them as a new customer, they go into a new customer sequence and get like kind of a new customer onboarding. Or maybe you have a series of customers you haven't heard from in a long time. You might have like a reactivation campaign. So there's lots of different types of things. These all work together so that you're collecting emails in a compliant way. You're sending out broadcast emails, these one-off emails that you can write and send or write and schedule. And then you're doing campaigns as you need to. And I know that might sound complex, but those are three very powerful things that you want to be able to do. And all of these systems I'm going to show you can do them. And I would say don't get too complicated to start. Just collect emails and send broadcasts. And as you gain more confidence and experience in these systems, you can always adjust and improve your process. So my suggestion is start collecting emails or kind of download your database and upload it into one of these systems, and then send out a broadcast email and see what happens, right? Send out some coupons or send out hey, excuse me, hey, we've got an amazing special on next week, right? Like send out just something and then see what happens. And then later you can always set up campaigns. Campaigns are just kind of slightly more advanced. They're nice to be able to do, but at the very least, if you don't do anything else, collect emails and send out broadcast emails. But you don't always want to be doing that because it depends on you to write them and send them. What you want to get to is a sequence of different campaigns that you can launch depending on the situation. And so you might have like a new customer campaign, you might have a prospect campaign, you might have a hot prospect campaign and a cold prospect campaign, you might have a old customer reactivation campaign. There's a whole bunch of things you can do. And I don't want to get too advanced here. I'm just trying to share a picture of what's possible for the future. But don't get too overwhelmed. Don't get too fancy early. Collect emails, send out broadcast emails. And if that's all you do for the first few months of using these email systems, you will see some great results from it. So now I'm going to switch my browser over to a different browser, and I'm going to share with you the email systems that you'll want to consider. All right, I'm going to share four. Again, one on the very simple, light, affordable, low end, and one on the really complex, high end, and then two in the middle. And you'll be able to choose. All right, so actually I just got to pause my video and then I will share in 1 second. Okay, here we go. So I have four here on my screen, as you can hopefully see. On the left, there's this one, and this is the really simple one. Then there's two advanced ones, this one, and then a higher level one. And I'm showing the pricing page just to kind of give you a quick sense of the pricing. Now, I'm in Canada, so it might be showing Canadian dollars. So you might be checking. It might show a little bit different, but just go and check yourself and be aware of the prices. And also, they may be running a promotion, at one time versus another. So just when you check, be aware. Don't go by the prices you see on this screen. The first one here is called MailChimp. I really like MailChimp. It is so simple. They do have a free option, although the free option is very, very limited. In terms of like the price to what you get, when you come down here, like some people starting out who've never run a business before, they'll do the free option, and it's okay. For you watching this, I think the standard version is probably the best. Although, if you're really on a budget, you'll save a bit of money on essentials. But basically you're looking for, if you want, you can add SMS and texting, which is always a nice feature. Not necessary, but I do like it. You may have that already in other platforms, so I'm just mentioning it. It is optional. Flow steps, I think this is what they're calling pre-scheduled campaigns, and this might be all you need, although you look with the whatever this one's called, standard, you get 200. So you can set up, if I'm understanding this correctly, you could probably set up a campaign of pre-scheduled, steps. let's say you have one campaign of a dozen steps, a different campaign of a dozen steps. So you can plan and build them. Not really necessary though. Custom coded templates, I wouldn't worry too much about that. Monthly email sends. This is kind of what you're looking for here, is monthly email sends. How many emails can you send? If you have a database of 5,000 or 6,000, then this is great. Now, if you have more than 6,000, I wouldn't rush out to buy the higher priced one, because there's a good chance that if you've never mailed them before, you might have a list, let's say, of 10,000, but you probably don't need to send all 10,000 emails all the time. So you might end up only needing to send 6,000 emails, even with a list of 10 or even 20,000, because you might be only sending to certain groups of people at certain times. So I would start in this range anyway, even if you have a higher list. Audiences, I bet this is what they're calling groups of people, like how you might target maybe new customers and existing customers, which is probably a helpful thing. Like if you think, I'm thinking this one's probably going to make a lot of sense for most of you. Number of users can be helpful depending on who's watching this. If you have like a team, a marketing team, or a couple of different people on there, you might want to give them one email user access to share, or you might want to give each of them their own. So again, 3 to 5 seats is makes a lot of sense for most of you. And then, everything else is kind of like pretty consistent. You want to usually be able to remove the branding, although that's not that important, but it does happen at the 2 levels. And look, the thing you don't get in Essentials that you do get in Standard is custom reports and dynamic content, neither of which are deal breakers in my mind. So if I were you, I would consider starting with Standard. I think MailChimp is the simplest, easiest, most affordable of the options that I'm sharing with you. All right, so let's go to the high-end version. And let's go high level. This is what we use at FoodDog. Excuse me, I love it. It has a lot of things. It has like websites, and you can get multiple websites for multiple businesses. It has workflows. It has social media integration. It has a whole bunch of things. And you can get some of those here and here and here with MailChimp, but you might pay extra or whatever. But in Go High Level, you get a lot. It can be complex. You can build multiple funnels and multiple websites. It is big and robust, and it's probably more than many of you need. I love it. And if you're looking to get like a new website, a new email system, and like just kind of start from scratch and build a CRM that's really helpful for you, Go High Level is a great system to use, and I recommend it. But there's a good chance for a lot of you watching this, you probably have a CRM you're already using. Maybe you're already doing some email or some text, or you have a tool like for home services, like it might be like Service Titan or House Call Pro or something, in which you already have some of the things and you're just looking to improve what you've got. And so this is probably too big for a lot of you unless you're looking to make a big change. One great reason to use Go High Level is, let's say you are working with a marketing agency now and you're very frustrated with them because you have no visibility, or you don't own your content, or you want to move away from them because they're not very good. Then I would look at getting your stuff, all of your stuff, into Go High Level. But for a lot of you watching this, it's not needed to be this complex. And so for you, if you want to start simple, MailChimp is great. Now, as I said, there are 2 systems in the middle that I feel are kind of like halfway in between MailChimp and Go High Level. They're more complex than MailChimp. They're less complex than Go High Level. They do the job. If you find MailChimp isn't cutting it for you, one of these is good. And I have used both of these in various businesses and agencies over the years. Again, you're looking at Canadian pricings, just be aware. So one is Constant Contact. Disclosure, I haven't used that in probably a decade, but it was the industry standard for a long time. And you're getting kind of all the standard stuff that I've been mentioning. Email, let me see here, automation, which is probably some sort of workflow type of thing. Contact management, which is kind of what I said before, which is like collecting emails, maybe tagging them into groups of people, that kind of thing. I wouldn't worry too much about things like advertising events. Don't get caught up in that stuff. Also, reporting, they're going to give you the reporting you need, even in the light level. So I wouldn't pay extra for like lots of reporting that you don't need right now. The things you're looking for are like how many emails can you send to how many people? Can you set up campaigns and automations? And what's another one? Can you remove the branding from it? So this is all looking good. Light and standard look pretty solid to me for most of you. Always be sure to check the other features. See, here we go. Users, if you want to have one email access that you share with your team, you can do that, or 3. Monthly email sends 12x your number of contacts. So if you have 1,000 contacts, looks like you can send them 12,000 emails. That doesn't mean you're going to send only 12 to each one, but you could probably mix and match, right? 10x. So for me, looking at constant contact, again, the light or the standard one look really good for most of you. Drag and drop email email templates, that's good. I always skip the email, the AI stuff. Polls and surveys, they're not bad. They're not bad. You can do other things. So I wouldn't, like, this is not a deal breaker for me. Subject line testing, A/B is always fine. That's a little bit more advanced. Let me see here. All of these are going to give you basically the things that you need without having to spend extra on stuff. So yeah, contact management. Here we go. Manage your contacts, web sign-up forms. This is always important to me, and I think just about every email system gives you what you need, even in the light or free section. So contact segmentation. This one's important to me, and it looks like this one, they're really very robust here. There's a good chance you'll never need, even at the level most of you are at, you're not going to need more than 5, 6, or 7 of these. So it might sell you out of light and into this standard one. So anyway, I'm going to finish with that one. So constant contact, pretty solid. I haven't used it in a decade, but still pretty solid. This is a good reminder. I forgot to mention this. So depending on some of the systems, they will price by number of contacts. I think MailChimp does that too. Yeah, you pick your number of contacts. So if you have a 10,000 person list, you're going to see what it is. I don't think that's the case for Go High Level, but it is the case for constant contact for MailChimp. So you're like, I have 10,000 people on my list. Okay, I'm going to be paying this much money, right? So just be aware of that. I think that's the case for, it is the case for ActiveCampaign too. Again, ActiveCampaign, you're coming in here. Let's pretend again you got 10,000 people. Now you're getting a sense of the price. For most of you, Plus and Pro is probably going to be enough. Starter might be okay, but let's always scroll down and double check. So you can see this one has a similar sending limit to constant contact. So the two middle ones are kind of the same in that regard. 10x the contact limit and 10x and 12x. And that's probably enough for most of you. Like, don't get caught up in whether it's 15 or 12 or 10. Like, these are honestly close to being the same. Number of users will be a factor for you. So if you want to share one user sign in, you can. Sometimes you'll trigger a verification. So if you want to sign in, but also your service provider who lives in India is going to sign in, you might end up triggering verifications every time, which could be annoying. So you might need to have more than one user. Multi-step marketing automation. This is probably probably what they're calling setting up campaigns. So you're sending out automatic campaigns for a new customer or for reactivation, and they've got it at every level. Automation triggers, that's a little more advanced. I wouldn't worry about it too much, and it looks like they give it to you at the 2 levels I'm suggesting. Email campaigns and newsletters. You got that. Web forms, that was, again, like every email place does this. It's basically a form. Either you can embed it on your website or have a separate website that they'll give you that you can like landing page that you can put in, collect customer emails. A/B testing, it's nice. It's good. A little more advanced. You don't really need it. There's other ways you can get around it, so I wouldn't worry about that. Some of this stuff is just kind of fancier than you need. Segmentation's nice. Looks like they have whatever they call standard and advanced. I don't know if they tell you here, but there's a good chance if like starter is limited, I wouldn't do starter, but standard or advanced are probably all that you need to get started. And that's it. They have lots of fancy stuff in here. You're likely not going to use most of it. So there you go. I've given you everything from the simple to the advanced to two in the middle that are pretty good, standard, reliable delivery companies. So I would start with something like MailChimp or one of these two medium ones. Find something in your price point, get something right in the middle, and just collect some emails, upload your current database, and send a broadcast or send a one-off email, whatever they want to call it, and see what happens. And then try again and improve as you go. And the FoodDog team's here to help you as you develop and improve your processes. And we have lots of tools and strategies and templates in FoodDog World to help you elevate your email game. All right, good luck, and hit me up if you have any questions.